Victorian Premier demands urgent answers after copper theft sparks major Optus outage. Imagine losing the ability to call or access mobile data in an emergency. This nightmare became reality for over 14,000 people in southeast Victoria when an Optus network outage hit. But here's where it gets controversial. The disruption wasn't caused by technical failures or natural disasters, but by thieves cutting through a fiber optic cable in a desperate bid to steal copper. This shocking act of vandalism has reignited fierce debates about the security and reliability of critical telecommunications infrastructure. Victorian Premier Jacinta Allen described the incident as deeply concerning and wasted no time demanding an urgent briefing to uncover how such a vulnerable point in the network could be exploited. She empathized with the community's alarm, especially given recent troubling instances involving Optus's service. The Premier made it clear she expects swift answers and concrete actions to prevent repeats of this crisis. The disruption occurred when criminals targeted a fiber cable buried in a Telstra pit on the Mornington Peninsula. Their aim was to extract copper, but in the process, they severed fiber infrastructure crucial for Optus's connectivity. Jane McNamara, an Optus spokesperson, labeled it an act of vandalism by criminals who blindly cut through vital infrastructure without knowing exactly where the copper lies. The outage affected 6 mobile sites across the Mornington Peninsula and Frankston, with some users in nearby Berwick also experiencing service interruptions. Despite the significant disruption, Optus assured that emergency 000 calls rerouted through other carriers prevented any failed emergency communications during the outage. Full service was restored by 11:20 a.m. on Wednesday, thanks to quick repair efforts. Yet this incident raises serious questions about the resilience of Australia's telecom networks and their preparedness against physical sabotage. The controversy runs deeper, considering this outage closely follows a Senate inquiry into a September 000 failure linked to the tragic deaths of 2 people who couldn't connect with emergency services. Green Senator Sarah Hanson-Young, who chairs the inquiry, didn't hold back. Optus has failed Australians once again. This essential service provider is not meeting its duty to keep people safe. She called for an urgent review of Optus's license, accusing big telecommunications companies of placing profits over public safety. Hanson-Young also criticized the Australian Communications and Media Authority, ACMA, the regulator, accusing it of being asleep at the wheel and incapable of properly overseeing giant telcos. This sentiment was echoed by Shadow Communications spokesperson Melissa McIntosh, who described the outage as sending chills up Australians' spines. McIntosh renewed calls for an independent inquiry into the 000 system, stressing that Optus must guarantee emergency call functionality at all times, no matter the fault. The government's approach has faced scrutiny too, particularly around giving ACMA the responsibility to investigate the fatal September outage and the incomplete execution of recommendations from the earlier Bean review into Optus's statewide 2023 outage. What's driving this spike in infrastructure sabotage? Copper theft has become a growing menace across Australia. Last year, Victoria Police dismantled an organized crime group behind over 50 large-scale copper robberies worth upwards of $780,000 in Melbourne's northern suburbs. Similarly, South Australia has seen metal thefts rise by more than 39% in 4 years, prompting tougher laws against scrap metal dealers. McNamara highlighted that safeguarding critical telecom networks demands an industry-wide commitment. This poses a serious safety risk, and addressing it requires the right laws and penalties across the sector, she insisted. Hanson-Young urged Communications Minister Anika Wells to enforce a key Bean review recommendation to automatically switch customers to other carriers during emergency call network failures. Privatizing this vital service has failed, Hanson-Young argued. Families are still mourning loved ones lost due to Optus's negligence. This incident isn't just about a network outage. It's a wake-up call about the fragility of the systems we rely on when seconds count. Are current regulations and protections truly enough? Should critical emergency services stay in private hands? Or does this crisis reveal the need for stronger public oversight? And how much risk should the public accept from opportunistic crimes like copper theft? What do you think? Is it time for major reforms in how telecommunications infrastructure is protected and regulated? Or are these unfortunate events simply part of modern life? Share your perspective below. This debate is far from over.